Om Parabrahmaya Vidmaya Shiva Tattvaya Dhimahi Tanno Mohan Prachodayat. Om Parabrahmaya Vidmaya Shiva Tattvaya Dhimahi Tanno Mohan Prachodayat. Om Parabrahmaya Vidmaya Shiva Tattvaya Dhimahi Tanno Mohan Prachodayat. Om Gam Ganeshaya Namah. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandham Pushti Vardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanat Mithyor Mamritat. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandham Pushti Vardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanat Mithyor Mamritat. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandham Pushti Vardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanat Mithyor Mamritat. Om Harlim Baglamaki Hum Fat Swaha. Om Harlim Baglamaki Hum Fat Swaha. Om Harlim Baglamaki Hum Fat Swaha. Om Shri Guru Datta. Om Shri Guru Datta. Om Shri Guru Datta. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Para Brahmane Namah. Om Para Brahmane Namah. Om Para Brahmane Namah. Om Para Brahmaya Vidmahe Shiva Tattvaya Dhimahi Tanno Mohan Prachodayat. Om Digambaraya Vidmahe Arti Putraya Dhimahi Tanno Datta Prachodayat. Chapter 11 of the Guru Charitra. The birth of Shri Narasimha Saraswati. An account of a Brahmani has been given in the 8th chapter. She was worshipping Sri Shankar devotedly in the evening on Shani Pradosh, which is the 12th day of a fortnight falling on Saturday. She died in course of time and took the next birth in a Brahmin family at Karanja in Berar. Her name was Amba Bhavani. She married to a Brahmin youth Madhava, who was also a devotee of Sri Shiva. As per her nature of the previous birth, Amba Bhavani worshipped Sri Shiva along with her husband devotedly. She became pregnant when she was 16 years old. Customary ceremonies were performed in the 3rd and 5th months. She used to have good desires. She advised people with high principles. Filling of the oti, which is putting corn, coconut, etc. in the open side of a sari worn by a woman, was done in the 7th month, and Samanti was also observed. After completing 9 months, her son was born to her. The baby uttered Om from the very birth. People wondered to see this. The astrologers foretold he would be a great ascetic and a Jagat Guru. He will not marry but will be known and revered all over the earth. Being an incarnation of God, he will wipe away all of your miseries and fulfill your desires. The parents of the child were very pleased to heart for this, and they gave money and clothes to the Brahmins. In order that the baby shall not suffer from an evil eye of any person, lemon and salt were waved on him and thrown away. He was named Shali Gramdev, but his pet name was Nahari. He was later publicly known as Narasimha Saraswati. One day, Amba told her husband that there was not sufficient milk in her breast for their baby. So let us have a feeding nurse or a sheep. Hearing this, the baby smiled and touched the right pape of the mother. Immediately, milk sprang out in 32 teats and her clothes became wet. Knowing thus that the baby was an incarnation of God, the parents bowed to him. The mother put the baby in the cradle and sang a lullaby song. but the baby would prefer to lay down on the floor and play cheerfully. The child became on a year old, but did not utter any other words except Om. The parents were anxious to see that the child would speak other words also. As the days passed on, they were afraid of him being dumb. Some would say that he has all the knowledge but purposefully does not speak. The child became 7 years old. The parents could not know how to celebrate the thread ceremony. As they were Brahmins, the thread ceremony was most essential. They worshipped Gauri, observed Pradosh and other fasts, but they were of no avail. They were anxious to know how to make the child recite the Gayatri mantra, the mantra in prayer of the sun god, which a Brahmin boy learns at the time of his thread ceremony. Seeing the parents in a dejected mood, the son would approach them and try and console them. Once he held an iron bar in his hands and instantly it was turned into a gold bar. Seeing this, the parents were astonished. They gave him some more iron and that too was turned into gold. Then the parents asked the son when and how he would speak. He moved his hand around his chest and loin and expressed that when the sacred thread would be worn and the nunj grass would be tied around his loin, he would speak. The parents were much pleased and they started enthusiastically the preparations for the thread ceremony. Still some doubted the success of the function. The parents invited all the relatives, friends and learned Brahmins for the function. The ceremony started. On the first day, Chol, which is the shaving of the head, a dinner took place. The next day, after the bath of the boy, a sacred thread was put around his left shoulder. The boy dined with his mother and other boys of his age. The father then uttered the Gayatri mantra in the ears of the boy Nahari, who recited it in his mind. The mother then came with alms. After offering the first alms, the mother asked the boy to recite the Rig Veda, which is the first of the 4 Vedas. Nahari recited Agni Mili. After giving the second alms, the mother asked Nahari to recite the Yajur Veda. Nahari recited Yajur Veda Ishvata. After the third alms, Nahari recited Agna Ayahi from the Samad Veda, the third Veda. Thus people realized that Nahari had the knowledge of all the Vedas, and they all bowed to him with reverence. Nahari then said to his mother, "You have asked me to beg for alms. I would therefore live on begging. So allow me to go and visit the holy places." Hearing this, the parents were much aggrieved. The mother fell to the ground senseless. After recouping, she said, "We expected you to take our care. So far, due to our misfortune, you were not speaking. Now, seeing that you can speak, we are much delighted and we think that our devotion to God has been fruitful. But now, you are talking of leaving us, and this makes us very uneasy." Nahari said, "You need not to be sorry. You shall have 4 sons and they will look after you obediently." So saying, he placed his palms over her head. She instantly recollected her previous life and saw Shripad Sri Vallabha standing before her. She bowed to him humbly. Nahari raised his head and said, "Mother, keep this a secret. We sannyasis keep ourselves aloof from family life. As I have to do my mission, please allow me to go." Mother said, "Dear son, do not go leaving us alone. No religion asks one to be an ascetic at such a tender age. You should have Brahmacharya Ashram for 12 years. The second is Girthasht Ashram, the most important of all 4 ashrams. After going through the third ashram, being the Vanprashta Ashram, one becomes liable for the 4th ashram, which is the Sannyas Ashram. So say the Shastras. So study the Vedas in the Brahmacharya Ashram. Later on, get yourself married and have the pleasures of having a family life. Then perform sacrifices thereafter. Become a sannyasi. but it is not desirable to be a sannyasi in childhood. Jai Mohanji, thank you for joining us for the reading of chapter 11 of the Guru Charitra. Please join us for the next chapters. Thank you. Om Bhara Brahmaya Vidmaya Shiva Tattvaya Dhimahi Tanno Mohan Prachodayat. Om Bhara Brahmaya Vidmaya Shiva Tattvaya Dhimahi Tanno Mohan Prachodayat. Om Bhara Brahmaya Vidmaya Shiva Tattvaya Dhimahi Tanno Mohan Prachodayat.
Thank you so much for joining us. Please do subscribe to the page as well as click on the bell icon so you can receive notifications once we upload the next chapters. Jai Mohanji.